Hi, everyone, and welcome back to this edition of Brave Briefings, where brave men and women share their tips and stories and ideas on how we can live a safer and more peaceful world, a world devoid of harassment and sexual violence and gender based violence and incest and rape. Are you brave? Hi, Elizabeth. I know you are brave. Would you like to share a little bit about yourself with our viewers?
Hi, sure. Thank you, Lois, for having me. I appreciate 100% what you're doing and what you're shedding light on, although it is a very vulnerable space and it comes with a lot of heartfelt for many of us. So I'll share just a little bit about my story, if that's okay. I am an energy worker, healer. I have been a life coach for many, many years, and it started as a massage therapist in my first career right out of college. And I think mainly was that the reason was I wanted to help heal what I thought the world. And realistically, what I needed to heal was myself because I had my own story of being a victim and abuse and from molestation. So, what I wanted to do is turn that into something positive. And here I am, almost 30 years later, an evolution of many modalities, but continued the healing process to also give back to the world and turn that pain into a purpose. And so here I am today with you having this conversation.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. So, in your opinion, what can we do to make our children brave so that they can stop this negative, toxic masculinity?
Good question. So when I started to really dive deep within my own healing, I thought maybe it was something I needed to do as a young gal at 14, thinking maybe I didn't have the confidence. Maybe I needed to change. And then I started to really dig deeper and notice I don't know that it was the girl that needed the confidence, but maybe it was the man who was the victim, or I'm sorry, the victimizer who needed to find a balance within his being. And so, as an energy worker, I see us needing the balance of feminine and masculine energy. So, I'm a mom. I have a 15-year-old and a 6-year-old. And what I teach them is finding the balance within themselves that it's okay for them to be a nurture. It's okay for them to feel nurtured, but also be the nurturer, to be that compassionate individual, but know that there's that masculine energy. If you need to run or fight or stick up for yourself, that energy is there too. So understand what a feminine energy feels like within the being, and also what the masculine energy, and where to meet in the middle for everyday life.
I talk of BRAVE, the acronym, and I say B is for boundaries, but I think I should add B is for balance.
That's a good point.
Because I do like that. If you've got the yin and the yang and the guy is balanced, he's going to understand the emotions and the feelings of the woman. That is brilliant. So, do you have any tip on how you can teach them what you can do to make them understand and to find that balance?
Well, I think that in our world we've been taught very masculine energy, and that shows up. But I also think that we in my household, what I teach my boys is when we're angry, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel that frustration. But what do we do with that anger, and where do we put that anger? We don't punch a wall, we don't manipulate a situation, we don't hurt anyone for that matter, whether it be a male or a female, but where to identify that feeling within the body first and know that it's coming, right? It's okay to be angry. It's an emotion, but what brought us to that emotion, and not to suppress it so it builds and builds and then it combusts. So we acknowledge it, we give it a name, we give it a feeling, we give it an identify what got us to that place. And then we can remove it, or we can debunk it, and we can satisfy what it's here to do, because it's an emotion. We cannot ignore it. It's okay for them to even be sad. That in our world where we tell our boys, don't cry. What are you talking about? Don't cry. Crying is a natural thing. You cried the minute you came out of that mama's belly. Like, you can't tell a baby not to cry. It's natural. Why would you tell a little boy to not cry? It's okay for you to have feelings. What are you going to do from here with that feeling? How are you going to soothe yourself? What are you going to change to make it better? And the understanding place is where I see the shift in my children, to see that it is okay for you to have a tantrum or to be angry or to be sad. What are you going to do about it? And take responsibility for your own emotion, not to give it to somebody else like it's somebody else's problem or fault.
Oh, there's so much in there. We need to unpack some of that stuff, but there's so much in there, the nurturing, the feeling of the emotions, and the crying. If you need to cry, you cry. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. So thanks very much for sharing that. I think it's so important that we teach our boys that balance in life. So thank you. So everyone, I'm Lois from Walking Without Skin. I'm your friend for forgiveness. And please do join us. Be bold, be brave, and fly free. Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for joining us today, and go well.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Lois. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. See you on the next edition of Brave Briefings.